Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, and Shalom to the elect. Alright, just finna get into this quick lesson. Alright, on Matthew 24 and 45 on down, So I'm gonna get straight to it. It says, Matthew 24 and 45, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season. All right, and if you have been woken up to this truth, all right, all right, and the Lord gave you the true understanding of these words, all right, hey, we're commanded to what? Feed Yahweh's sheep, as he, kept on asking Peter, hey, he's like, Peter, do you love me? He's like, hey, Peter was saying like, yeah, I love you, to the point where, it grieved, Peter because Yahweh Shai asked him, like, I believe like 3 times, and the last one, Peter was grieving. He was like, yeah, Salakia, you know everything, you know that I love you, and guess what Yahweh Shai said? He was like, hey, if you love me, feed my sheep. All right, so we're supposed to be what? Feeding Yahweh's sheep. All right, doing the Lord's work. All right. It says, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. And yep, because we're supposed to. Hey, we got to keep that faith until the end. We got to keep the faith until the end. When times get bad, and best believe things is gonna get bad, but you still gotta keep the faith, But real quick, get to the book of Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. So see, we're prisoners of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right? We're prisoners of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right? Just like Apostle Paul was. All the prophets, all the men of the Lord were prisoners to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because, hey, we all got a duty to fulfill, It says, I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. All right, so we got to walk worthy of the vocation where we were called. All right, I believe the word vocation goes into, basically a spiritual calling, and we were called to do what? The Lord's work. All right, so we got to walk worthy, Salakia. All right, we gotta walk worthy. All right, to obtain, salvation. Because if you're just living how you want to live, all right, barely putting anything in for the Lord, hey, you're not walking worthy. And guess what? You're gonna be destroyed. So that was a point on that. Hey, we're not prophets for no reason, We got to be prophesying, Constantly in the scriptures Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is telling us to what? Speak to our people, Bring out the words of prophecy, It says, verse 47, verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, he's going to bless the ones that what? That endure to the end. All right. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 20, or verse might be 3 and 20. 3 and verse 21 says, to him that overcometh will I grant him, or it's like it, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcome, and am set down with my Father in his throne. All right. So see, a overcoming, from falling out this truth. All right, overcoming, the system. All right, overcoming Esau and his tricks. All right, to make us fold, to make us, give up the faith. All right, just enduring unto the end. Guess what? Yahweh Shah said he's gonna grant to sit with me in my throne. All right, and what is a Yahweh Shah? He's in control of everything. All right, Yahweh gave him control of everything. All right, so he's able to subdue everything. All right, and one of the things that he's going to give us is what? The heathens. All right, that's one of the rewards. All right, Yahweh Shah giving us the heathens. All right, to inherit. You know. Let me see. Revelations 2:26, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. See? So keeping Yahweh Shah's works unto the end. All right, keeping the faith, because what Yahweh Shah, what did he do? He kept the faith. All right, he kept on believing on Yahweh. He believed that what Yahweh, that Yahweh will still be with him. He was still calling on Yahweh's name. All right, he was still calling on Yahweh when he was upon that cross. He actually fulfilled prophecy. All right, even though he didn't want to go up on that cross, he asked the Lord if there was another way. He still did it, and he fulfilled his mission. All right. So what? We got to be the same way. We can't let nothing, deteriorate us from serving Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, and keeping the faith. Because it's a lot of things. It's too many things promised to us. Things that our hearts has never imagined, our minds have never imagined, and that's going to be granted to us. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. All right. So hey, we're going to be able to. These heathens are going to. They're going to fear us. They're going to fear us. All right, and they're gonna what? Bring their possessions unto us. All right, they're gonna be working for us. They're gonna be giving us their daughters. All right, their special ornaments. All right, the best of everything, basically. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. See? So we're going to be able to do, in righteousness, as we please to the heathens. And what? That's going to be a lot of pain for the heathens, because we want to get at them, because they touched us, They touched us, all right? They had us in captivity, all right? And guess what? We want to put our hands upon them, And guess what? Yahweh Shah is going to allow you to do that if you keep his works, So back in Matthew 24, verse 48, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. All right. So see, and that's talking about a so-called brother that was in the faith. What did he do? All right, he started doubting. He started doubting Yahweh Shem Shah because the prophecies ain't start, they ain't pop off fast enough. All right. He's tired of doing the lessons. All right, he's tired of just being disciplined. And guess what? He goes back into the world, talking shit, hey, Yahweh Shem Shah, he's not gonna forget about that person. You know, he's not gonna forget about a brother that just falls out. You know, it says, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right. So see, Yahweh Shem Shah, he's gonna, you're basically a 2/3. All right, you're gonna be judged like a 2/3. All right, because you didn't wanna keep on serving y'all by Shemel Shah. You know, this is Luke 9 and verse 62. And Yahweh Shah said unto him, no man hath putting his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. See, this is Yahweh Shah. This is what Yahweh Shah said. All right, if you put your hand on this plow, all right, you've been out there, preaching the word, doing these video epistles, all right, and you just say you're done with it, you're not on fire for it, hey, Yahweh Shem Shah is, hey, he doesn't see you fit for the kingdom, all right. Basically, you're going to be destroyed, Let me get another one. Luke 12 and verse 47, and that servant which knew, basically another Matthew 24, but Luke 12 and 47, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So see, so hey, that servant that knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, all right, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So see, somebody that's in the know, all right, us in the know, all right, with this truth, with the understanding, we got to play a lot, all right, we got to play, or I can't even say that, we got to play what has been given to us, all right. Yahweh Shah said, what I tell you in the darkness, that you go preach on the housetops, so Yahweh Shah is giving us the true understanding of these words, and we're supposed to, bring it out. We can see what's about to come. All right, we're supposed to bring it out. We're supposed to warn the sheep. We're supposed to warn our people. And tell them to what? Get right with Yahweh Shem Shah, so they don't, so they don't be destroyed, and the blood is not upon our hands. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that real quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. All right, so see, we're supposed to be giving them warning from Yahweh Shem Shah. All right. Hey, we understand these prophecies. All right, and so what? We're supposed to bring out these prophecies. All right, letting our people know that, hey, this is what's about to come. Get right, It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. So see, we got a job to play. And if we're not playing that job right, or if we're not doing the job right, hey, Yahweh Shem Shah, he's gonna come to us personally. All right, he's gonna hey, what you doing? You're not feeding my sheep. You're not telling my people what's about to come. I'm about you're about to be destroyed. It says. So yeah, we're supposed to warn our people. We're supposed to tell our people, turn from your wicked ways and get right with Yahweh Shem Shah. Because the prophecies that's the things that's about to come upon this earth is about to be bad. If you're not right with Yahweh Shem Shah, you're going to be destroyed. That's the message we're supposed to be, bringing out to our people. But if you're not doing that, hey, you're not listening to Yahweh Shem Al Shai. You're being rebellious, you know. Verse 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So see, it's for us preaching this word, doing the work, that saves our souls. All right, that saves our souls. All right, it's a big thing of preaching the word, you know. And it's not only to get the other people, but ourselves, you know. It's to, you know, make sure it's to, we're basically storing up them spiritual treasures in heaven, you know. It says, so back in Matthew or Luke 12 and verse 48, but he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. It says, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. So see, we've been given this truth. Much is required from us. All right, we're required to live the lifestyle of a prophet. All right, we're required to live or preach the words. All right, just serve y'all by Shema Shah. All right, and if we're not doing that, we're going off. You know. So that was pretty much it. You know, I just wanted to hit on some quick points. You know, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Going to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, and Shalom to the elect. Shalom.